I am Erin Patten, metaphysical master in a millennial age, and it is my life's purpose to guide you and organizations along an enlightened path. So I invite you to sit comfortably and tune in as I welcome you to the Meta Business Millennial, where we get the real conversations you won't get in the boardroom so that we understand this is exactly the path we need to be on in order to grow, evolve, and thrive. Greetings, I am Erin Patten, also known as Master L, and welcome to the Meta Business Millennial podcast. And today is a very special episode because it's just me. And I am inspired to do this because I feel like I just have more to say. And I created this podcast, I created this platform to be able to speak my truth, to be authentic, to be myself. And I've been spending a lot of time sharing the stage, sharing the space, opening the space for others. And that has been, for me, very humbling. It's been very enlightening as well because I've learned so much from other people. And it's also allowed me to practice a skill that I likely hadn't used a lot throughout my life, and that is listening. And so I really am grateful for all these weeks. I mean, it's been almost a year since I launched. I launched on my birthday last year, November 20th, and we're now mid-September. And every week I've been cranking out episodes featuring all of these amazing metaphysicians, healers, light workers, and incredible human beings from all over the planet. And I just, mm-mm, mm-mm, I just want to pat myself on the back, show myself some gratitude, some love for putting in that work because it certainly has been a labor of love and just a really cool opportunity to meet such amazing people and allow so many folks' stories to be aired out. So not just for us to hear, but the way this energy works, it ripples into the other dimensions. There are beings across dimensions, across the universe that are tuning in to us and what we have to say because, we are, as little as, many may know, an amalgamation of all of the elements in our universe right here on our planet in this human being body. And I am so grateful for that opportunity to be able to express myself with all of this energy in this body, in this time and space. And so now is my time. Now is my time to say how I feel, say what I want to say. And it's like, okay, then where do I start? Because my life is it's a movie for real. And I must say that one thing that continues to strike a chord with me, that one thing that continues to give me the feels, let's put it that way, it's something that I feel, my emotions, is a topic around love. Love. And it's so simple and so complicated and so complex and so deep and so shallow. I mean, it's everything. Love is everything. And it manifests in so many different forms. And for me, of course, like love for myself is one thing that I'm always constantly working on. But it's really about managing my love for a lover, if you will. And yeah, I'm gonna go there because it's really challenging for me to talk about my emotions. It's really challenging for me to talk about my relational pursuits because, frankly, I've not always made, in my view, the wisest decision when it comes to that. And likely because I was moving with the level of consciousness that I had around that subject, which was very low. Very much fear of rejection, very much trying to play my role as a woman, which was like, where did I learn that from? Like a Disney movie? I'm not quite sure because I wasn't really taught like dating skills or I was taught like finishing school skills when I was like doing like the child model pageant vibe, like learning how to eat and walk and be poised and things like that. But in terms of how to truly engage with the opposite sex around with males, with men around dating and how to treat people, the man, or how to, move in that way, I really would say my skills are very low. Like I mean, I just really am still learning how to understand, overstand, understand, first of all, what it is that I want. And then second of all, like how to share that with someone else. And ooh, it's just like uncomfortable to talk about because it's a truth for me. And this is something that I know so many of us desire so deeply because, I be on the internet just like everybody else every day. And there's always memes. I mean, even listen to like popular music. I mean, popular music before, like in our parents' age, I mean, or at least like, 50, 60 years ago, was very much around like love and sensuality and companionship and expression, and it was so beautiful and tangible and achievable. And I feel like now, like what we get from music is oftentimes raunchy, which is cool, ratchet, which is really cool. I love a good, ratchet twerk situation. And yet it's more about dogging people out. It's more about getting yours and fuck the other person. And there is a less and less you find of this reciprocity, this mutuality, this sensuality that I very much at least desire in my fucking life, I desire this in my life. And we really aren't as a human collective experiencing this as much. It's really very much reflective of frankly, our business world. It's very much transactional. It's very much what have you done for me lately? And what can I get from this situation? And if I'm not getting what I want, then you're not the one. And for some people, this may work good, like this may work great. Yet for me, just like with everything else in life, I want more. I want it all. And I really desire something that's very deep, that's like rooted in trust and rooted in transparency and honesty, and it's not cookie cutter. And I know that I will have that. Yet at the same time, I'm still cultivating that architecture, if you will, within my own being, because there has just been so much of my life and so much of my programming that has really been aligned otherwise. And I can't even really say to what it was. Like I always believed that I had the intent in relationship to show up the best that I can, to do for the other person, to love the other person, to honor the other person, to respect the other person, and did my best. And I likely definitely probably fell short, probably according to the other individuals in the relationship. Yet at the same time, in my view, I always felt like I was doing my fucking best. And so, however, at that stage or where I am now, that best is certainly not enough. And this is where I believe that so many of us are in this phase where we're like, okay, I'm doing the healing work. I'm amplifying my own energy. I'm growing. I'm thriving. I'm really aligning more to my purpose in life, to what God wants for me. And then why am I still single? Why am I still alone? Or there could be people in a situation where you are in relationship with someone or in marriage with someone, and maybe that person is on a slower path than you. So maybe you aren't aligning as much, or you're aligning away from each other. Or maybe you do have that love of your life and you're just trying to make it even better. And hey, kudos to y'all out there. Definitely drop comments, send me some DMs, and we can talk more about how y'all are doing the love thing, because this is really, and I talked about it on previous podcast episodes before with like Max and Jasmine. Y'all can tune into those episodes around divine union. I even talked to Heather about it too. And this is essentially what we as human beings, as a human collective, are calling forward for this new earth paradigm are loving, healing, sexual healing, loving healing, relationships where we are in union with one another, whether it be man and woman, man and man, woman and woman, it don't matter. It's just a loving relationship with another human being that you can say that that's my person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my person. They look out for me, I look out for them, and we have our arrangement and it looks like this, and we're both fulfilled. We're so full. And I honestly feel like when we find that person, there that temptational aspect of the exploration, if you will, goes away because there is so much fullness in your own being and fullness with that other being that there almost is no, for me, it seems, no time and space for anything else, for no time and space for any other distractions because you are so fulfilled and whole where the fuck you are. And that resonates so deeply with me. And I hope I have some friends out there that feel that because not that I'm against like the polygamy or the open relationships or cheating or whatever you want to call it. I honestly just feel like those are people moving out of lack, like moving out of a space of lack because there isn't enough where they are. So they're constantly still seeking to fill more of that, whatever it is that they're trying to fill. And when in the fullness of union, and even just when you think about the word union, like it's just like it's a whole, it's united. And there are no broken pieces. There's nothing else to look for in that. And that's what I want. God damn it. That's what I want. And that's also what I feel like this world is calling for all of us is this union within ourselves first and foremost. And what we call Heros Gamos or the divine marriage, this divine marriage of the masculine and the feminine within. And also just how we are able to align our own energies so we can attract that, which is so perfectly designed in our and architecture for us. And that's how I feel. And just moving more in that space of that Heros Gamos, that divine architecture, because this is the path that I'm on and the lessons that I've been learning right now is just really healing those aspects of myself that are not able to align yet. And, as I was, preparing for this, as I was just doing my own kind of inner meditation and could feel the pain of a lack in my being. And also tears began to flow. Like I literally was like drying my eyes before I hit record because there is still something deeply, deeply missing within me. And I don't want to call it like a wounded masculine and wounded feminine because we already had that conversation with Amber on the last episode. I want us to continue to grow and evolve from our conversations. Yet there is likely within you, obviously within me, aspects of ourselves that need nurturing, need love. And that fundamentally is, the theme of today's, podcast is around this love. And in order for us, and in order for me, especially when we're looking to attract that divine mate, that divine union partner, we really have to have that marriage within. And interestingly enough, I've been drawn to this divine feminine archetype. Her name is Mirabai. And it's so funny because one of my friends is reading a book about her and like literally messaged me and was like, "Hey, I was thinking about you through this book about Mirabai." She's this Hindi woman from many centuries ago who was a poet and was very much a spiritualist and utilized her great gifts, spiritual gifts, to help her people. And Mirabai also was a devout, she called herself devoted to, married to Krishna, even though she had a very wealthy king husband and, did these things with their royal family. She always was in honor of her marriage to her divine masculine. And that is, the ultimate. And so her archetype is around being in love with oneself, being married to oneself. And that is the energy in which I believe is also moving within me, is that Mirabai energy of this very deep, boundaries for self and knowing of self, because you have to know who the fuck you are before you can set the boundaries. Because to be honest, like a lot of times when we start the spiritual journey, we kind of cut everybody off because we're just like, it's just so painful that we really need to like strengthen our own energy before we come back out into the world. Yet that's part of the getting to know yourself that allows you to set really healthy and firm boundaries when you do begin to open back up to the world. And I feel like I'm speaking to someone out there as it relates to this, because I also too went through that process where I really shut myself out from the world because I was in so much pain. I was in so much, uh, the emotions were just so deep and uncontrollable. It really was like beyond anxiety for me to interact with other people, whether they would be friends or family or whatever, what have you. I knew all my life didn't matter. It was just really painful to interact with other people. And so I understand a lot of folks that may be going on their spiritual journey, that may be coming into this space where, oh my God, like the whole world is painful to me. And if that's you, it is okay. It is very important for you to find out what it feels safe for you. And when you have that knowing, then you're able to really begin to open up again and know how to set those healthy boundaries. Know how to love yourself enough so that you can, okay, got the energy to go back out and be with people who may not be, whether it be at work or in your family, may not be your most aligned, but you are able to make it through, because this is the work of healers. This is the work of the new human calling, is that we are going to be tasked to do things that may not be easy, but we definitely have the energy, the strength, the fortitude to do it. And as we do that, that to me is what reflects that marriage to oneself, that love for oneself, when you're really able to protect yourself from others, but then also nurture yourself when you feel that you may not be in the safest of spaces, or you might have made a mistake, or you might have said the right thing. And that self-nurturing is super important on a daily basis, because we're going to always be coming up against events or situations or people that may look at you funny or look at you crazy. They may not say the right things, irregardless of you, but we sometimes take it personal. And it's for us to have that nurturing quality so that we don't start to absorb that energy from around us. And that to me is what love represents, what it reflects, is this ongoing protection, nurturing, guiding of ourselves so that we can always attract all that we need, especially that one. And so I'm feeling like this is coming to a good close. I want to keep the solo podcast short for y'all, but let me know how this resonates with you, because I really feel like this is a topic for which so many of us are working through, maybe struggling with, or wanting to grow in, expand in this area of love for self and love for others in relationship, specifically a romantic relationship, for lack of better words, a divine union relationship, a relationship that could be a life partner, a life mate, if you will. And it really is something that is on my heart and that I'm calling for. And so I am definitely going to be talking about this more and more as I move in this space of getting more comfortable expressing my emotions, expressing my love language, expressing that which is important to me. So definitely let me know how you feel. Drop a comment, send me a DM. And of course, you can follow me at I am Erin Patten on Instagram, across all social media platforms. Also, the Meta Business Millennial podcast on YouTube and wherever you find your podcast. And in the meantime, I love you all. Stay bright, my friends. Peace. Did you really love this episode of the Meta Business Millennial podcast? Well, I am honored, and I appreciate you subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing it with your friends. In the meantime, stay bright, my friends. Much love and light. Peace.